Hello, this is Duncan Fowler and this is tutorial booklet 8 intermediate AStarNavigator using FlexSim 2020. This is quite a basic modeling example. There's not too much to this. It's a source with a queue that's connected to a processor, and then the processor goes off to a sink. We have a transporter that we're going to use. And then we're going to put an object in the middle between the two, and obviously in real life that transporter couldn't go through this rack, so we're going to use FlexSim's physics engine and ask it to drive around here automatically. Depending on exactly how you position this, it might go underneath and along, or it might go over the top and around and stuff. It doesn't really matter for today, as long as you just get the idea of how to use the AStarNavigator tool. Basic cues and stuff. We drag the AStarNavigator tool into the room, and then we declare what we would like the physics engine to take into account. The more items you put in here for the physics engine to calculate, it might slow your model down a little bit. So you can see that it's we've got this automatically generated blue box around everything that's in the scene. You can see that the sink is not part of it because it's not going to be part of the anywhere near the path that this vehicle is going to do, so it's pointless putting it in the calculations. And then what we're going to do is create a couple of walls around this processor, and obviously you can't go through walls, so hopefully I will possibly put another object here so it can't go up and around the back, so it will come down, up and around. Yeah, okay, let's go to FlexSim now. Okay, we're in FlexSim 2020. I'm going to change the seconds to minutes, and let's start modeling. We need a source, a queue, processor, so give it a little bit of a gap over here, move out a little bit, and then a sink a little bit further out. And then what I'm going to do is put an object in the way, so it's going to be a rack. Where did they put that? There we go. And there we go. And let's see if we can rotate it a little bit. Let's have a look. Is that a good angle? I'll go the opposite way. Okay, and then let's move it somewhere in between there. Let's just squish it up a little bit, move it. So it's forcing the issue. And let's join the source to the queue to the processor. Make sure you don't select the rack, and then to the sink. Let's have this source of an interval time of 0, so we're getting an infinite number of boxes coming through. That's not really what we're trying to show today. So we just keep getting objects in here. Let's have a look at the transporters we've got available to us. Let's use a task executor for today. Something new. It's very similar thing than all the ones we've used before. We need to use an S key. And obviously we need to go to the queue and tell the queue in the flow tab to use transport, which is connected to the center port, which is defined by the S key. If we reset and run the scene now, we could get a lot of boxes very quickly, and you can see what happened is the transporter is quickly crashing it and stuff. Running so slow, let's come on, get on with it. Let's have a look. Why is it? It's probably driving so fast. Yeah, so it's reduce the speed a little considerably, so we can see it moving around a bit. So yeah, so it takes a box. And it goes and gets another box. and so forth. So we can see the problem is it's going straight through the rack. So let's stop, reset, and let's go and introduce the physics engine. So it's AStarNavigator. You can just drag it on and drop it anywhere really, and then double click. Let's just move it to the side. There's a couple of ways you can add things. So if you want to click here and add the processor, select, get it in. So this will now be part of the physics calculations for this object, or you can just click on here and select multiple objects. So it's select the rack, the queue, we've got the processor, and we'll just put that into, and obviously we need the object that's moving around and stuff like that. Select apply and OK. We currently haven't got the box because we haven't run the model for the first time. Once we run it for the first time, if we reset and run, you can see that it's going around around the rack. If you find it going around the top, just move the rack a little bit. So what have we got? So I've got barriers. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to reset this. I'm just going to move that down there and show you what I mean. So if I reset and run, you can see it's going around the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a barrier here. Let's stop, reset and run. It's sneaking through there a little. So let's just move that to the side, bring it a little bit further, and let's stop, reset and run. And that's forced it. So that's how to use barriers. And what we're going to use now is a little barrier to draw a box. Let's just use a barrier, click and draw. Sorry, just undo that. So what a barrier. Click, and I'm going to draw a little wall around here. So no, I'm okay with that. Let's just click. It's a little bit slow, but we'll get there eventually. Press escape to get out of there. So what should happen is it should come around here and into the sort of room or whatever you want to call it around the other side. So stop, reset, run. So it's going around. Oh, it's stuck in that little gap. Let's force it to not do that. So let's stop, reset. Run again. There we go. So it's going all the way around now. Yeah, so that introduces the AStarNavigator, the sort of 3D collision physics engine that FlexSim uses. Remember not to put everything in the scene that inside the members part of the AStar because it'll slow it down. Only put things in here that really need to be in there. Okay, that's the end of the tutorial. Hopefully it's been useful to you. Thanks a lot for listening.